Your Excellency, the Vice President, Mr. Olawale Edu, SAC, particularly the Acting Controller of Customs, and Mr. Taiwo Yedele, members of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee, and our little daughter, other senior government officials here present. I thank you very much. Today marks another milestone in our quest to reform our economy and re-engineer the finances of our country for the optimum performance. Since we get into office in the last few months, we have taken steps to reset and revamp the economy. My first action was the removal of subsidy. It was pushing the country off fiscal balance. The second was to put an end to the misappropriation of nations' wealth through preferential foreign exchange system. It's a cesspool of corruption. While we needed to take these important decisions immediately, we knew also that further reforms would be needed if we are to reposition this country and remove the barriers and bottleneck stunting our economic growth. Our administration carries the burden of expectation of the Nigerian people who want their government to make a life much better and easier. We campaigned on a promise of a better country anchored on our Renew Hope agenda. I am determined to fulfill that promise, and so I have committed myself to work tirelessly to improve the quality of life of our people. It must be said, however, that all goods and helpful plans we have mapped out to make living a better experience for Nigerians will amount to nothing if we are unable to derive the resources necessary to bring them to reality. A government can only function well when it can reasonably discharge its responsibilities to the people. A sound fiscal policy, environment, and a fit-for-purpose tax system are critical for the effective functioning of government and the economy. Without revenue, government cannot provide adequate social services to the people it is entrusted to serve. Yet, the means by which government raises its revenue is just as important as the end to which such monies are put. Unfortunately, Nigeria's current international standing in the sector shows that we have a long way to go. Globally, Nigeria ranks very low on metrics such as the ease of paying taxes, ease of doing business. Equally, our tax to GDP ratio is one of the lowest in the world and falls below even the African average. The consequences of ongoing failure of our tax regime are real and significant. The inability of government to efficiently raise revenue has led directly to an over-reliance on borrowing to finance public spending. A government that cannot properly fund itself will also lack the flexibility or physical scope to sensibly manage the economy or respond to external shocks. Instead, debt service begin to consume an ever greater portion of government already meager revenues. This trap the economy in a vicious cycle of borrowing simply to service previous debt and leaves almost no scope for socio-economic development. As president, I am determined to end this cycle. On the day of my inauguration, I promise that my administration will address all the issues impeding investment and economic growth in Nigeria. This promise is why I saw an end to the fuel subsidy. It is the reason the central bank has called an end to its multiple exchange rate system. It won't happen under my watch. It's for this same reason we gather here today to inaugurate the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms. Thank you, Mr. Oyedele, for accepting this assignment. The committee has been established to address the broad physical challenges facing our economy. Its mandate shall be divided into three broad areas. These are: 1, fiscal governance; B, tax reforms; and third, growth facilitation. Within the scope of this mandate, the committee shall, as its objective, the advancement of viable and cost-effective solutions to issues such as multiplicity of revenue collection agencies, the high cost of revenue administration, the excessive burden of compliance on ordinary taxpayers, the lack of effective coordination between fiscal and other economic policies within and across levels of government, and poor accountability in the utilization of our tax revenue. The committee is comprised of experts from both private and public sector. I have given them a strong mandate, and I expect their report to cover tax reform, fiscal policy design and coordination, harmonization of taxes, and revenue administration, among other items. Our target is to improve Nigeria's revenue profile while making the business environment more conducive and internationally competitive. Our aim is to transform the tax system to support sustainable development, while at the same time achieving a minimum of 18% tax to GDP ratio within the next 3 years. In order to ensure seamless implementation, the committee shall be empowered not merely to make recommendations, but also provide practical support support the government in the execution and delivery of the recommended changes. The committee is expected to achieve its mandate within a period of 1 year. They are, in the first instance, expected to deliver a schedule of quick reforms which can be implemented within 30 days. Critical reform measures should be recommended within 6 months, and full implementation will take place within 1 calendar year. In carrying out this mandate, the committee will be guided by national interests above all else. We cannot continue to tax poverty when we should be promoting prosperity. We should no longer tax investment or production, but focus on returns, incomes, and consumption. This government will tax the fruit, but not the seeds. Our goal is to promote investment and facilitate economic growth as a sustainable way to grow and diversify government revenue. We will be mindful to ensure physical stability for all stakeholders, including investors and businesses, both domestic and foreign, as well as all tiers of government. All government agencies, ministry, departments are hereby directed to cooperate fully with the committee towards achieving their mandate. Finally, I wish to use this opportunity to seek the support of the National Assembly, the organized private sector, the international community, and above all, every well-meaning Nigerian citizen, if you are truly a citizen. This committee is on a crucial national assignment. The assignment is very critical to the physical health of our country and our collective survival. It is now our job to support the committee members to succeed. I am confident that with your support, the committee will achieve a remarkable outcome for our country. We know them. They are competent, qualified, and reliable. Your taxes is not just for today, but you see the future. And the young lady that addressed us, I assure you, your future is assured. God bless Nigeria. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.